Jason. It's my job to stump. Hey everybody, it's Carrie Hoffmeister with Carrie On Abundant TV, and today I'm super excited to have on former American Idol contestant Baylee Littrell. Baylee, thanks so much for being on the show today. I can't wait to chat with you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. So, I know you're probably not very familiar with the show, but we do like to start with what we call Carrie On the Truth, just because it's fun to put Carrie On at the beginning of everything. It just makes it sound cool. So, Carrie On the Truth is just true or false, like random statements. So, they're random facts that nobody would really know, so don't feel bad if you don't know them. But yeah, the 50-50 shot, so you're just going to tell me true or false, okay?
Okay.
Okay. ASOS stands for as seen on screen.
Oh man, true?
True. There you go. 1 out of 10. Good job. In a deck of cards, the king has a mustache.
False.
Yes. Good job. Is
Thank
somebody
you.
telling you the answers?
No.
I was
My
like,
mom my mom was behind me. She's like, true. Yeah.
well, your mom would have been wrong. An octopus has 3 hearts.
True.
Do you just know these?
I think I read something about, I used to love marine biology, so I feel like I knew it was something about octopuses having 3 hearts.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No one's ever started off that strong. All right. The first animal sent into space was a monkey.
You know what? I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I'm gonna say true.
It's false.
It's false?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what it was? Well, I
Oh,
guess not. Fruit flies were sent
fruit
into
flies?
space, yeah, on a V-2 rocket in 1947.
Wow. They're
There you
like, if
go.
the flies can survive in the capsule, then I guess we can.
I guess we're good to go. Okay, I'm probably gonna butcher this name because I meant to look it up before how to say it, and I didn't. Um, Adina Menzel says the words "Let It Go" 20 times in the song "Let It Go" from Frozen.
I'm surprised it's not like 52 times, so I guess I'm gonna say true.
It's false, but it's
It's
only
false.
21 times.
Oh my
It does seem like 52 times, though.
God. It does.
The small intestine is about 3.5 times the length of your body.
Oh man.
Have you seen one? Are you measuring it in your head?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if this was unraveled, what would it look like? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say false.
It's true. I'm preparing you for all of your next interviews. You're going to know them all. Spaghetto is the singular word for a piece of spaghetti.
No.
It's tr-
It's true.
it's true. I didn't know it either.
I said no.
I didn't even know there was a word for a single spaghetti. Spaghetto. Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun.
Indifferent.
You only have 2 choices.
I guess false. I'm gonna say false.
It's true.
It's true.
You started so strong and you just.
It's like 18 million false. I mean, false answers. Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 more. You're shorter at night than you are in the morning.
True.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did.
Uh,
I know to never measure my height at night. You always have to do it in the daytime so you feel better.
that's funny. That is so funny. Okay, last one. Human blood contains gold.
False.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. The average human body contains about zero point 0.2 milligrams of gold, most of which is found in the blood.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
There you go. There's your lessons for the day.
that's insane.
Well, that was fun. You started strong. We won't talk about the rest, but that's okay. So, since I haven't had you on the show before, I do usually like to have my guests give a little bit of their background just so my viewers can kind of get to know you a little bit more. So, if you just kind of want to talk about growing up, did you, obviously, but some people may not know, grow up in a music family? And when did you know that you wanted to do music?
Okay, let's see. So, I mean, growing up in a music family, my dad being Brian Littrell from the Backstreet Boys, um, releasing solo Christian music as well. It was, music ruled my house,
Hmm.
and still does. Even though I'm not at home anymore, it's the same deal when I'm with my girlfriend. But I would say I had to be about 6 years old when I realized that I loved music, that it was something I was probably gonna want to do. The years had passed though, and it was always just a hobby. It was something fun. When I was 12, I started doing musical theater, and it wasn't something I was super fond of. I was just trying to act, and I ended up booking this role that eventually our theater show made it to Broadway. I auditioned through that process again and had the opportunity to be on Broadway, moved to New York, um, and I was there for 6 months. I received a Drama Desk nomination that was kind of like if you could have a first job and learn about the industry, that was a great one to have. But 12, 13 years old, you're just still you're not ready yet to learn,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
it was an amazing experience, but all I could think about was getting home to my friends, my grandma, my family, just everybody at home. But it taught me a whole lot. It made me realize that I wanted to pursue music as I got older. I thought, you know what, let's just hit puberty, get a couple hairs on our chest before we actually try this for real, but I want to do music. So I hit puberty like clockwork. I kind of lost my voice a little bit. And I started doing vocal lessons and trying to get my voice back and find
Oh
my
no.
footing. And because I was doing a lot of vocal techniques that were kind of limiting my voice. So I started learning just the simple things of not locking your jaw or just these little cool techniques that kind of helped me find my voice, get through that tough like transition. And then around 2018, so two years after Broadway, I started going to Nashville, started recording music. I started to finally grow a following and went on tour with my dad as their opener in the U.S. and Canada. Um, and I just remember the feeling of gaining that momentum, getting on the Today Show, going to play for Martin at Martin Guitars, and it was this amazing high of playing our last show at Hershey Park in front of 18,000 people, and you're like, it's only up from here. But then, we don't know our own journey like somebody else does. So
Yeah.
that's the cool thing is, not knowing what was going to happen next, having an expectation, and then actually getting slapped with reality for the first time. COVID hit us, things just kind of happened as they did, and my career just kind of took a nosedive. Um, so just as I was on the cusp of, hearing my song on the radio, it was removed from rotation. Now we can't take a risk on new artists. Booking
Hmm.
agents had to let me go because we can't take a risk on new artists. It was all this kind of stuff where you kind of lost everything. So then you questioned, am I good enough? Was that my one chance? I've spent the last 6 years, 6+ years just trying to fight my way back, and get to a place where I'm happy that people can hear my music, that I can, gain some exposure, and feel inspired. So it's been 6 years of playing, clubs and bars and trying to figure out who I am as a man, figure out my relationship with God. It's been an amazing time. It's been a journey. And it has not been perfect by any means. It's been a lot of struggle. Um, and I think I really realized that it was time to do some new music and put out something that was very vulnerable to me when I wrote Hey Jesus. Um, it was again a time of trial and error, and I was just writing a song one day, kind of in a writer's rut, and I was going over the same chords, same lyrics, same type of deal, and I thought, man, I'm writing songs that all sound the same, and I felt this presence just say, why aren't you writing one for me?
Mhm.
And it was this moment where I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And all of a sudden, I found the words, and I will forever believe that those words are not mine, and that it's from somewhere else. And so I don't know, it was a very special moment. So 2 years have passed, or almost three, and now I'm finally recording this song in the studio. I had the amazing opportunity of going on American Idol, and I never expected for this to happen. I wanted to make it on the show. Um, and I never knew the magnitude of what was going to happen. Just the initial audition episode ended up getting like 68 million views, and it went viral. It was a an amazing experience. But then I also used that opportunity to share my song about, just God's love, Jesus's love, and faith in the best platform I knew how. So I wasn't sure if American Idol or ABC was going to air it or what was going to happen. It was almost seemed like a controversial decision. Um, and I just thought I'm going to take this risk. It was really my mom that pushed me to do it. I was even doubting it. I thought, well, maybe this won't work. And she said, like, what a better time to try than now? Like, get your point across, say what you want to say. And I ended up singing the song on the show. It was a monumental moment. And in a moment of pressure and anxiety, I found strength. And this is the only song, no matter what happens, where I never feel I succumb to the pressure just because of who I'm singing to.
Mhm.
Um, I'm at ease and I'm at peace. So, although my voice could have been shaky or my hands were sweaty or whatever was happening on that stage, there was always a feeling of comfort and pride and strength. And so, it just kind of resembles life and our struggle through life. Um, but I'm so blessed I had that opportunity to sing the song on the show, realize how many people it's helped, um, and try to continue this and really get it out there and publish for people so they can hear it. Um,
Yeah.
and my goal is to bring people back to God.
That's so good. I've followed you actually for a while and your family, and one of the things I've always admired about all three of you is your faith in God. And your dad and your mom have such a beautiful relationship, and I've always just seemed so close and putting God in the center of that. So with following you for a long time, when I first saw you on American Idol, the first thing that I noticed was like, whoa, he is so different than from before. Like, I mean, I'm sure maturity and but humility and just your passion was different. It was still there, but it was so different. And I think I had the same reaction that Carrie Underwood did when those first notes came out of your mouth. I was like, whoa, like he's just matured so much. It was so good. And that song was so beautiful. Hey Jesus, when you sing that later, I remember tearing up over that too and just admiring you for being so strong in your faith. So it seems like that has been a journey in your faith, which we all have a faith journey. But how has that faith journey, how has that changed in the last few years? Was there a particular moment that just you were like, oh, I just have to give this to you, Lord?
I think everybody talks about how challenging your early 20s are. Your brain is, wrapping up its development. Your hormones are going every which way possible. So everyone anticipates this to be the time of your life, which is your prime. It's really It's really like God putting on the finishing touches and getting things right. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's been tough. I was always very I guess I would say just I tried to be as prim and proper as I could be. I was never the bad boy. And then finally I hit 18, 19, and I was like, you know what? I'm done playing by the rules. My life isn't going the way I want it to. So I took a different path. And there were rarely times where I was following the rules, I would say. It was very much just I did whatever I wanted to. A lot of alcohol, a lot of different things, a lot of, just experimentation. And I kind of hit this point where I realized that's, self-medicating, going through
Mm-hmm.
problems, mental struggles, depression, anxiety. Those things are not self-medicated by one thing, and it never works. And it's going through things through sobriety. I'm not here to tell people to be perfect or not drink or not smoke weed if they want to or do what they need. It's everybody's different, but it was very much a point of where I realized until I stare my problems in the face sober and give this problem to Jesus, to God, I'm never going to get through this. I'm going to stay complacent.
Mm-hmm.
So 2021 was a big year. Um, it was never what I thought was going to happen with my life. I truly think I was on a path to stray away um, from just kind of my foundation as a young man. Like, and I was trying something different. I was running from something that was chasing after me. It was always waiting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I hit this point where it's been probably the toughest 2 or 3 years of my life. Things have been different, that feeling of waking up and all is well, or feeling the wind on your face, or
Mm-hmm.
hearing the birds chirp. It's different now. It's more numb. Life becomes more of a struggle. But in those times, I try to find strength and push forward. So I think going into American Idol, I found a sense of humility that I'd never had. I kind of realized I'm like, hey, you're young, you're not invincible. You can't just expect everything to go your way. You can't
Mm-hmm.
expect life to be easy or expect to love every day. I went through a period in time where, life wasn't ever perfect, but to me, I lived rent free for 19 years of my life. And all of a sudden, I just felt this kind of this voice again, this fix it or I'll fix it for you. And I kind of brushed that voice off. I never listened to it. And finally, my life just unraveled in every way possible, friends, relationships, family. And I realized I had to fix a lot of things. And as soon as I gave those problems to God, he's fixed them. He's let me still go through it and find my way. That's another misconception is when you
Mm-hmm.
give your problems to God, you have to trust it.
Yeah.
You have to trust it. And when you go through your moments of doubt, you can't blame anybody but you. It's a very tough thing to realize, and it's still something I'm going to work on every day. But um, I'll look at these as the years of my life where I'm trying to mold who I really want to be. And I don't know. I just had this feeling today in the studio being able to record this song. I thought this might be my entire purpose. Is this one moment in
Mm-hmm.
time? And so it's today's been really special. It's been a lot of just reflection and to, lighten the mood. I think Kleenex might need to give me a sponsorship
Hey,
because
we could try that.
I've cried. I've cried a lot the last couple of years of my life and going through emotions, being more free with my emotions, allowing myself to feel. Those are things I've cried today in the studio. Um, life is tricky, but it's never supposed to be perfect. This is the one temporary part of forever. And
That's
so
so
this is the
good.
test.
Yeah. You could definitely see that growth in you. I definitely think this is your moment. God has always has his timing, and this seems like that's your timing. But how was the expectation different than your actual experience on American Idol? How were your expectations different?
I think I expected I mean, I'm a shy person. I'll say this. I think I didn't really even expect to get through the audition and get
Really?
to Hollywood. I really did not. I thought, man, this is probably my last go round. I kind of told everyone, I said, if I don't get through here, I'm gonna probably hang it up and
Hmm.
I'll just reconfigure my life a little bit, figure out something else to do. And then when I got through, I thought, well, I haven't thought this out. I have to like go back to the drawing board and think, oh man, you're actually gonna keep doing this. And I was homeschooled growing up, always on the road with my parents. So when you're not you're the only kid there that didn't go to
Yeah.
public school, the experience is different, right?
Yeah.
But so many people had so many misconceptions about me, or were nice to me until they found out who my father was, or
Oh,
it was brutal.
wow. Yeah.
And so we kind of had our social cliques. There was the country singers, the R&B singers, and then it was kind of like the outcasts. And so I fell into that category. And I just started trying to figure it out. I think I expected it to be a little bit easier or smoother finding people to talk to or
Hmm.
finding, genuine friendships. And it just seemed kind of like a big cluster of like high school drama. And I ended up meeting probably one of my best friends in my whole life
Oh.
in the midst of that. And we've been close ever since. His name's Olivier. He was in the top 20 with me. And we both started the journey together and we both ended the journey together. So it was a great experience. But um, that when people told me on American Idol, they're like, you will make friends for life. I was like, yeah, maybe you guys will. And I ended up making friends for life myself. So
That's awesome.
towards the end of that experience, people started to understand me. I understood them, and it was more of a. It was sad to leave because I was like, man, I'm just starting to really be close with everybody, and
Yeah.
the experience time was up. But it was an amazing experience, all in
That's
all.
awesome. What is your favorite memory from being on the show?
My favorite memory from being on the show is, I guess I would say making the top 24. Um, and after, it was kind of very hush hush what was going to happen. And there was a scene that was cut from the show, and it was just basically where we all go down this flight of stairs,
Hmm.
and they don't tell any of the top 24 contestants who's made it. So our first time getting to see was going down this staircase and seeing who was waiting for you. Um,
Oh,
and so I think I was like the 18th that made it into the top 24 out of 24. So there were 17 people waiting. And I walked down and I was nervous because I didn't know if my friend Olivier, got through. You don't get to watch.
yeah.
And so I just walked down the stairs and I'm like nervously searching. And then I see him in the corner and he comes up to me. He hugs me and he's like, man, you made it. I was hoping you were going to be here. And it was just one of those
Aw.
moments like where I was like, I just got camaraderie, friendship, triumph all in one memory. So it was a great moment.
That's really cool.
A
So
great moment.
now that it's over, I mean, that part of your journey is over, but I'm sure it's just the beginning for you. I have to ask this. Are you ever going to consider doing a Christian album?
I think I would, I've got more songs that are faith-based. I could see an EP. I don't know if I have enough for a whole album, but I definitely
I
think
fully support that. Just saying.
I think the journey doesn't end just with Hey Jesus. So I think there's more.
I agree. Well, so what are your next steps after this? What is your goal now moving forward?
I think my goal moving forward is to put out an album. I'm not sure in what genres it will fall.
Hmm.
But I'm really excited to release some new music. But first and foremost is Hey Jesus, and I'm excited to get this out. while it's fresh in people's minds, and can make an impact on their life. So
Hmm.
really the first thing is releasing this song. And then for, the next couple of months before summer hits, I would love to, wrap up an album and have it close to ready to go for the summer or the fall. And try to tour, try to get back out there and play a lot of shows. So that would be my goal.
That's awesome. Hey Jesus is a beautiful song. I think it's the best that you've done. And
Thank you.
I've actually heard your other stuff, which we're actually going to end with something kind of fun with your music. So we're going to do a little segment called Name That Song,
Okay.
which are your songs, a little mixture of some of your songs. This is really fun to do with artists because it's a lot harder to name the song when it's just being said than
Yeah.
sung because I'm not singing it. So I am going to say a line or two of your songs and you have to tell me the title.
Okay.
All right? Ain't afraid to say what you mean and you mean what you say when you say it.
Boxes.
There you go.
Boxes.
Your trees blossom, girl, while mine lay dormant.
Gone.
Oh, good. Does your mom know these quick too? I should have done you both
You
together
know?
and you could have tested. Did she know them?
She does. She's
Oh,
like,
okay. She made sure to let me know that you moved on and found yourself. I can hear. This is the best moment.
she. No, I don't know it.
She made sure to let me know that you moved on and found yourself. Change?
Oh my
Does that change your
God.
mind?
Yes.
Why did neither one of us get that?
Oh
Oh,
man.
no way. I try
Wow.
to find the lines that aren't so like
Yeah.
common. Okay, it's hard to hide me lighting up when you walk in a room.
You always
Or
start me
it's
off so
hard.
great, and all of a sudden I just
I
take a little nose. Let
know.
me see. Dirt and Gold.
Yeah. Wait, did I say that right? Did I say the line right? Okay. I have been wrong before because sometimes when you like Google the lyrics, they're
Yeah.
completely wrong. And
And
I've
you're
had
like,
people be like, that's not our song. Like,
you're like, this kind of sounds like Shakespeare at its just saying it's a lyric sheet. Yeah.
when she's riding in my front seat, my windshield on her bare feet.
Yes.
She know it?
Do you know that one? I don't know it.
Which now, bare feet.
Ah, I know. Yep. It's Nobody Tells You, right? Is it Nobody
Yeah.
Tells You?
I feel like I need to say these with a southern accent because
Riding in
they're
my
country
front
song.
seat.
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same when it's just like this northern like monotone thing. Roof rack, okay, sorry. Roof rack, board and a paddle, summer kings of the sandcastle.
We run this beach.
It's a lot of words. Okay. Woke up to the desert sky, called you about 1,000 times.
Lonesome Cowboy.
Hey, you did pretty good. Good job. Well, Bailey, thanks so much for being on the show today. I was rooting for you the whole time, and I'm so excited to see what you do in the future, and I can't wait for Hey Jesus to come out. And so, everybody watching, make sure you follow him on all social media platforms so you can see when it's out. And just thank you again. It's been awesome to chat with you.
Of course, thank you so much.
And thank you all for watching Carry On. And just remember, until next time, to carry on.